Hello guys, now in this video let's discuss about fetal circulation. Before discussing fetal circulation, let's see some important points regarding a normal circulation. In a normal body, the deoxygenated blood from the whole body will be brought to right atria, okay, by superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Both superior and inferior vena cava, they are bringing deoxygenated blood to the right atria. We all know that. From the right atria, the deoxygenated blood will reach right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood will go to pulmonary trunk. From there, the deoxygenated blood will reach to the lungs. In the lungs, the deoxygenated blood is getting oxygenated, and the oxygenated blood from the lungs will be coming to left atria. From the left atria, the blood will be going into left ventricle. From there will be going into aorta. From aorta, the blood, oxygenated blood, will be distributed throughout the whole body. This is something normal, we know it. But regarding fetal circulation, there are some changes. What are they? Guys, remember, in the fetus, the oxygenation is not happening in the lungs. Why? Because the fetal lungs are immature. Because of the lack of surfactant, the fetal lungs are in a collapsed state. So oxygenation is not happening in the fetal lungs. So where the oxygenation is happening? In the fetus, the oxygenation of the blood is happening in the placenta. So placenta is the organ where the oxygenation is happening in the fetus. Now, who is bringing the deoxygenated blood to the placenta? Important. The deoxygenated blood from the fetus will be bringing to the placenta by umbilical arteries. Okay, umbilical arteries carries deoxygenated blood from the fetus to placenta. In the placenta, the blood get oxygenated, and the oxygenated blood from the placenta is taken back. Okay, the oxygenated blood is taken back by umbilical vein. Guys, you have to understand the difference. Usually in your body and my body, the oxygenated blood is carried by arteries and deoxygenated blood is carried by veins. But in fetus, the oxygenated blood from placenta is carried to the fetus by umbilical veins, and the deoxygenated blood is carried from the fetus to placenta by umbilical arteries. Okay, well and good. Now, the oxygenated blood is in umbilical veins. Now, this umbilical veins, please concentrate. This umbilical vein, it is going to mix with, or it's going to enter into, the umbilical vein is going to enter into inferior vena cava. Okay, it's very clear that you can see this umbilical vein, it is entering into inferior vena cava. Guys, remember, the oxygenated blood from the umbilical veins is now getting shunted into the inferior vena cava by a small structure. This structure is known as ductus venosus. Okay, I hope you can see it clear. See, this structure is known as ductus venosus. This structure is known as ductus venosus. It is shunting the oxygenated blood from the umbilical veins into inferior vena cava. Now, the oxygenated blood is where? Now, our oxygenated blood is in the inferior vena cava. Now, this oxygenated blood, it is entering into right atria. Okay, well and good. Now, what is the fate of this oxygenated blood which is present in right atria? Now guys, remember, most of the oxygenated blood from right atria is shunted into the left atria. Most of the blood will be shunted in this way. Why most of the blood is entering from the right atria into left atria? Why? Because there is an opening in the interatrial septum. There is an opening in the interatrial septum. That opening is known as fossa ovalis. Because of the presence of fossa ovalis, most of the oxygenated blood which is reaching the right atria will enter into left atria. And from left atria, the blood is reaching into left ventricle. We all know that from left ventricle, the oxygenated blood is reaching into brain. Okay, we all know from the aorta the oxygenated blood is reaching the brain. Okay, the main aim of the fetal circulation is to pump as much as oxygenated blood to the brain. Why? Because we cannot compromise the brain with deoxygenated blood or less oxygenated blood. Now, after saying this, let's also see a few more important points. Guys, whatever the oxygenated blood which is coming through the inferior vena cava to the right atria, this not only passes into the left atria. Okay, see, we all know that the oxygenated blood is reaching the right atria and most of the oxygenated blood is going into left atria. We all know that. But some amount of blood, guys, remember, some amount of blood which reaches the right atria will mix with the deoxygenated blood coming from superior vena cava. Superior vena cava is bringing the deoxygenated blood. Now our oxygenated blood will mix with the deoxygenated blood which is brought by superior vena cava, and now this less oxygenated blood. Why? Because our oxygenated blood is mixed with the deoxygenated blood, so it's a mixed blood. Now this mixed blood is present in the right ventricle. Now the blood from the right ventricle, where it will go? We all know that the blood from right ventricle will go into the pulmonary trunk. See, you can see here, this is the pulmonary trunk. Okay, I hope you can see it here. This is the pulmonary trunk. Now this mixed blood is going into the pulmonary trunk. Okay, well and good. So what? Guys, remember, if it is going into pulmonary trunk, ultimately it have to go into the lungs, but the lungs are in collapse state. So there is high resistance for the blood flow into these vessels, pulmonary arteries. So whatever the mixed blood, this mixed blood which have entered into the pulmonary trunk, now this blood will be again shunted. You can see this blood is shunted into aorta. Why? Because of the presence of a small structure known as a ductus arteriosus. Because of this ductus arteriosus, this mixed blood which have entered into the pulmonary trunk is getting bypassed into aorta. From here, this mixed blood which is going to all the organs of the baby. Okay, don't think that this is just mixed blood. Why? Because still it have lots of oxygen which is enough for the requirements of baby. Okay, now what's happening in the fetus? Oxygenation is happening in the placenta. The oxygenated blood is now carrying by the umbilical veins. Now umbilical vein, okay, it's only one vein. Okay, it's not veins, it's only one vein. The umbilical vein is going to enter into the inferior vena cava with the help of a structure known as ductus venosus. Now the oxygenated blood which is present in the inferior vena cava is going to enter into the right atria. From there, most of the oxygenated blood will be shunted into the left atria with the help of foramen ovale. Because of this foramen ovale, most of the blood is shunted into left atria. From the left atria, it will come to left ventricle. From the left ventricle, most of the oxygenated blood will reach to the central nervous system and brain. Okay, now some of the oxygenated blood will mix with the deoxygenated blood which is brought by superior vena cava, and this mixed blood is going to come into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, this mixed blood, it will enter into the pulmonary trunk. From the pulmonary trunk, it cannot enter into the lungs. Why? Because those are high resistant vessels. So the mixed blood will be shunted into the aorta again with the help of a structure known as ductus arteriosus. Now from here, this mixed blood will be supplied to all the organs in the body. So this is how fetal circulation happens. Now guys, I want you to remember some important points here. See, after the delivery of baby, the total circulation will change. Why? Because we no longer have placenta. So we no need to have that umbilical arteries and vein. So what happens to these embryological structures? Guys, please note here the umbilical veins. Okay, So what is that umbilical vein which is present in the fetus? Right umbilical vein is lost. Only the fetus have one umbilical vein. Okay, that is left umbilical vein. Okay, only left umbilical vein is there. That too, it carries the oxygenated blood. We know it. Now this left umbilical vein, we no longer need it after the delivery of baby. Now this left umbilical vein, it is present as a remnant. This remnant is known as ligament of teres. Okay, so this ligament of teres is present in the liver, ligamentum teres hepatis. Okay, now they can ask you, what is the fate of left umbilical vein? Okay, the left umbilical vein is obliterated and now it becomes as ligamentum teres. Now what happens to the umbilical arteries? Guys, remember there are two umbilical arteries and one umbilical vein, we know it. Now these umbilical arteries, they will become medial umbilical ligaments. Okay, now what happens to the ductus venosus? Okay, we all know that ductus venosus is the structure which is helping in the shunting of blood from the umbilical vein into the inferior vena cava. Now this ductus venosus, it will become ligamentum venosum. Okay, ligamentum venosum. Okay, now what happens to ductus arteriosus? Okay, now this ductus arteriosus, it will become ligamentum arteriosum. Okay, now what is the fate of foramen ovale? Guys, remember this foramen ovale, it is open, like no, it's a opening in between right atria and left atria which is present in the interatrial septum. See, after the delivery of baby, this foramen ovale, it will be closed. Okay, now this foramen ovale, it will gets closed and it will become fossa ovalis. Okay guys, now these are certain modifications which you will see when fetal circulation gets converted into normal circulation. Okay, now apart from this, I want you to remember two important points here. What are they? See, this ductus arteriosus. Okay, the shunt between pulmonary trunk and aorta. Okay, we all know it. Now this ductus arteriosus, they will ask you, it was kept open during intrauterine life with the production of what? Guys, remember this ductus arteriosus is kept open during intrauterine life due to production of prostaglandin E2. Okay, so due to production of prostaglandin E2, the ductus arteriosus is kept open. But after the delivery of baby, there is a decreased production of prostaglandin E2 levels. So what happens? The ductus arteriosus will get clamped or closed. Okay guys, these are some important points you need to keep in mind regarding a fetal circulation. I hope you understand it. Thank you.